Kristin Joyner with Living Down South Realty, and let's take a look at the numbers. Today is July the 9th, 2026, and we're going to go and take a look at what the market has been doing since the last time we met in November.
So it is July 9th of 2026, and we're going to take a look and see what the Lake Hartwell market is doing, both for cover docks and platform community. So, quick reminder, we've got two states that border Lake Hartwell. We have 6 counties, three in each of the states. The lake is 56,000 acres. We have over 11,000 managed dock permits, dock permits in place, and of course, undeveloped land that can end up growing that a little bit. And we currently have a market absorption rate on average of 6 months. We are seeing that a little bit higher in certain price ranges, but on average, it is 6 months. So the covered dock market in Georgia, we currently have 29 homes for sale. We only have 3 homes pending, and only one of those homes is overpriced over $1 million. So the days on market, it took 78 or 17 days on market to get these houses under contract, the 3 that we currently have pending. And on average, it takes about 78 days. So we have seen a tick up on days on market. Now notice that the pending, it's pretty hot. Most of the time when I see low numbers like that, I know that that seller was aggressively priced or the condition was outstanding, and that's why we have a very small days on market compared to the competition, which is currently active. When we take a look at the South Carolina side, remember South Carolina, we have a little larger cities in Anderson County and Oconee, as well as Pickens. So we have 42 homes currently for sale with a median price at just at $1 million, and only 9 of those are considered luxury priced over $1 million. We have 14 in those 3 counties cumulative currently pending, with 2 of them that were listed over $1 million. So again, that little insight is telling me that right now the buyers are not in the marketplace for the $1 million property. But when we take a look at the closed, you'll see that the landscape, that there was quite a number of luxury properties that actually closed. The pending days on market was higher than the active. So again, we've kind of had a little bit of a slow start to the spring market. We had inclement weather in January, February. And again, these numbers are all currently what's happening right particular. When we take a look at the closed data, we'll see what has happened since the last time we met, which was in November of 25. So your median days on market in South Carolina, a little bit lower than Georgia. We've got 63 days on market on average. So when we look at the Georgia covered dock, now remember I limited it to just single family. We had 31 homes that actually closed since November of 2025. So with us having the inventory of 29, that's actually pretty good. 31 again was the median days on market, which is interesting that we see that number 31 again. We did see the average price or the median price was $789, so you're going to spend just below $800, and that was up actually from November from $737. Now remember, our lake currently is right below 7 feet of full pool. We have not seen these numbers. We've been at full pool pretty consistently since 2017. So we saw a little bit of a drop before the hurricane came through a couple years ago. We were about 4 feet down. So we were a little bit down in November, but not at this. So we have been in a little bit of a drought this year. And that's been affecting the lake market too. South Carolina, on the cover dock, there was 65 homes that actually closed, and 18 of those were over $1 million. So those numbers are actually not too bad. We've got 50 days on market in South Carolina, and then you're going to spend a little bit more money. And part of it is because you've got bigger cities, and you also have accessibility to more retail stores and jobs than some of the Georgia outlying counties. Platform and community. Remember, I lumped these together. So you didn't necessarily have to have a lake view, but you had to have access to a community dock or you had to have a platform dock in place. Now, the difference between a platform and a covered is really dictated by the Corps of Engineers. It's based on size, how far away you are from the neighbor, and also what your water depth is at full pool. So you must have 4 feet or greater underneath the dock to qualify for a covered dock. Plus, you have to have a certain distance from the neighbor. So we can't have, all the docks very, very close to each other. So that kind of gives you a little bit of an idea of how the Corps manages that. So on the Georgia, South Carolina, or Georgia side, we have 12 homes that are either platform or have access to a community dock. And when I say community dock, I mean that you have a deeded slip, a dedicated slip, or an assigned slip. So it's not just a neighborhood where you can pull up to a dock of you can come in and park. Everybody has access to it. This actually is you have your dock and your slip that you can access. So we've got 12 currently for sale. We have seen a couple neighborhoods on the Georgia side that have been in that $700,000 price range in the past year and a half. So that's why our median price has upticked since we followed this data a few years ago. So we're 662. We've got currently 3 homes that are pending that have platform or a community slip or a dock slip. So your days on market active is 87. And again, the pending is lower because, again, the seller aggressively priced the house or the condition was outstanding. So we have 42 days on market is what it took on average. Then when we look at South Carolina, we've got 25 homes that have platform or its own dedicated slip. 4 of those are pending. So the active days on market is 32. Pending days on market, look at this, 183. Now this is the median. So we kind of threw out the anomalies of the ones that have been on the market for quite some time. But still we're a little bit high when we look at that pending days on market. Closed for South Carolina, we have 13 homes. And again, we have had 13 homes currently for sale in South Carolina with a platform or a slip in a community dock. And so median days on market is 152. And it's going to cost you about $500,000 to buy a home that has access to the water. And then in Georgia, we have 13 sold, same thing as South Carolina, which is interesting. We currently have 8 platform or slip access to a community dock. Takes about 43 days on market. Price range is a little less. And part of that is because we don't have quite as many community docks in the state of Georgia. We have more platforms, but we just don't have those community slips as much as we do in some of the South Carolina counties. So you're looking at spending about $430. So in summary, it's going to cost you about $870 on average to get a covered dock. It's going to cost you about $443 to get a platform in Georgia. It's going to cost you about $789, and then a platform is going to cost you about $430. So again, I broker the Georgia side of Living Down South Realty. This is my 32nd year in the business. Actually, my anniversary date is coming up in Georgia in August. So I'll be entering in my 32nd year. So we do lake property. We specialize in lifestyles and we know how to market. So this is an example of a very popular consumer site and then an example of our own website on social media. You can see that our reach actually was almost triple. I'm so proud of that. So I am Kristin Joyner. My business partner is Laura Williams. We are here to serve. This is what we do for a living. And I live on the lake. So boating to docks and showing property by boat is very accessible. I hope everybody has a wonderful day. And again, thank you so much for watching my video. If you are interested in buying and selling on Lake Hartwell, please give me a call. I would love to hear your story and see how I can serve. Have a wonderful day.